What are you particularly trying to look for?
I want to look for either like tracks or like broken branches, like anything that shows me a sign of where they went,
Okay.
or trying to find like a cave or a tunnel or something.
All right. You can give me either a spot hidden or a track roll. Oh,
It makes up for the T spit.
and from one end to the other. Um,
I'm fully awake now after the scalding hot liquid.
um, it takes like half an hour to kind of like get your general bearings of this area. The canopy down here is quite thick, and so not a lot of sunlight breaks through into like the foresty areas you're walking around, but you do start to see like the similar footprints like stomping around in this area. Branches kind of look snapped or broken off, um, that are too thick for like a normal woodlands creature to break themselves. You don't see any kind of like cave systems nearby, but the tracks do eventually start to lead back to the cemetery. I'd say through that extreme success, they actually like you start to dial off like towards the cemetery. They start to get a little bit more sparse, a little bit more harder to spot, but you do track them up to one of the mausoleum doors.
Can I see if I can't open the door?
Yeah, give me a strength check. That is a
I want to
regular.
spend. Oh,
Oh,
regular success.
that's a
Can I
regular
spend
success.
Can I do one luck to make this a hard success?
Of course you can. You most certainly can. The actual door itself, you find as you start to push, is quite hard.
Mm-hmm.
But you're able to actually like, kind of like, start to move this door a little bit open, like more and more. At this point, you start to smell like a horrible stench. It seems to kind of like start emanating from this like mausoleum as it like goes down. It's too dark to properly see down there, but are you holding your breath at this point?
I've got my. I would say like, I've definitely got my like hand covering my mouth and nose.
All right. Can you give me a Constitution roll? Perfect. Yeah, this horrible stench comes out, but that kind of you kind of recognize the smell from your like lab air, like from like biology labs and stuff. But you're able to hold it in. You kind of like, as your eyes adjust to like this dark, you kind of see like where past like the mausoleum like kind of like grave would be for the person. There does seem to be like a little bit of extra tunnel that kind of leads further in to the ground.
Looking in, is there anything that I can see? Like, is there any like food or missing books or I don't know, bones?
Yeah,
Anything that's
give
like
me a
in
spot
this.
hidden. Uh, you you start to see some bones. Um, you kind of spot that the area around, like the area where the body would have been dug, has
Mm-hmm.
also kind of been like moved around. It doesn't look set. Um, like it doesn't look like it's been set for a few years. It looks like it has been disturbed recently, whether that's been in the last few weeks or few months. But then, like, the parts of the bones and stuff seem to be scattered around the area itself as well. You don't find any books or anything.
Can I yell for Thomas from the graveyard?
Yeah. You shout up to the hill, and you slowly like see like this figure like kind of like make it a little light jog down the hill. And Thomas is like you can see him like look around, go, Ray, where are you?
So I followed the footprints that I thought I saw the other night. Do you know anything about this? You may want to cover your nose a bit.
Oh, he like
I'm gonna just...
he walks over and goes, oh God, oh. Like kind of like holds it in. I'm gonna actually make a roll to see if they get knocked out. Oh yeah, they get knocked out. Just like he starts like wobble like slightly. You can attempt to catch him, or otherwise he's just gonna fall.
I'm gonna try and catch him.
All right, I'd say no roll for that. You catch him and like kind of gently put him down, like on the outside of the mausoleum.
Is there like groundskeeper anywhere or no?
He doesn't seem to be around, unfortunately.
Okay. I'm just going to... I don't want to leave and get, like, water for him. Can I just, like, try and, like, shade him with, like, my body and see if I can't get him to, you know, kind of come to, make sure he's okay.
Give me a first aid check.
Oh.
That's a fail unless you want to push it.
No, because I'm worried I might kill him. him being knocked out is much better than...
He is knocked out from what you would gather for the next few hours.
Could I like try and like move him to like a more shady area?
Yeah, I'd say you'd be able to. Like one of the trees on the hill like would be offering enough shade.
Okay, I'm just gonna move him to like a shaded area, and I just want to like... I'll probably wait on him because I don't want to explore there by myself. But
Yeah.
also, I just don't want him to wake up and be by himself either.
Yeah. I'd say probably 3 to 4 hours pass, and eventually, like Douglas kind of like... Not Douglas, Thomas. Kind of like wakes up and goes, oh, what was that? Oh, gosh, like sniffing ammonia. Oh, hello.
Hi. You've been out for a while. Are you feeling okay?
Yes, other than a bit queasy, I feel quite fine, I think.
Do you remember anything about what happened before you passed out?
He like takes like a sharp inhale, and like you can kind of see he's like trying to recollect like from his memories. Well, I remember you calling me down to the cemetery, and I remember walking up to you, and well, next thing I know, I'm like under this tree.
So I'm gonna point to the mausoleum. It's like I was gonna show you that because there's a like some kind of like poorly made tunnel with this horrendous smell that the footprints that I followed go in and out of, and I think that's where your whatever this creature person thing is, I think that's where they're coming from.
Oh, I see.
But I don't know because I haven't explored it. But also, it's pretty ripe.
Yes. Well, that certainly puts a spin on things. I don't really know what to say. Have you looked inside?
No, I was going to, but then I wanted to make sure you're okay.
Yes, I'm fine. But I fear that the what time is it? It's 3 o'clock. Oh, 3 o'clock. Oh, blimey. The locksmith will be here any minute. I must go up and get the house ready for him. Oh, he like gets up to his legs and stuff. I must have a torch or something in the house if you so need it to look in those tunnels.
That would be great.
Yeah,
Can I like? Okay.
you gonna say something? Sorry.
I was gonna follow him to get the torch.
Yeah, so you can help him like hobble up to the house. He like while he's there, he like kind of sits himself down in the living room, but like manages to like produce this like torch for you. Like hands it over and goes, I believe it's all topped up and stuff. It should work fine. Obviously, I would like it back, and but yes, I do wish you well. But yes,
I'm gonna thank him and head back to the mausoleum to see if I can't make my way, at least poke my head into the tunnel.
yeah, I'd say you're kind of used to the whole stench now. So is it like you walk in, you kind of like cover your mouth and make your way further down. As you like get into this like tunnel or this like hole, it looks like it's been dug. I would ask for a natural. Give me a biology roll. If you're kind of trying to discern like who's made this hole.
You said biology?
Yeah. Nice. It kind of looks like something with thick claws has clawed at this door. Not this door. This like hole in the ground to kind of make it.
And I don't know what it is.
You kind of like get the idea. It's like claws, like how like a mole would like claw through stuff.
Okay. And then is the hole big enough for me to like walk into or poke my head in it, or okay?
I'd say you're able to like crawl in. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but you're able to like kind of climb in all right. You don't feel too squeezed in here, but you're able to crawl your way through and start to like head down one of these maze-like tunnels. Can you give me a navigate roll?
Sure.
Whoa, nice. You kind of like take your time. You're like climbing around like all these little tunnels. Like you come into like certain areas of these tunnels where it kind of it feels weird because it looks like an underground city. Like some of these rooms, like some of these like tunnels have been like leading to like rooms that seem to have been caved out of the dirt, and there seems to be like little tables like made of like a muddy like dirt kind of feel. Certain like shells have been like kind of like carved into like the walls and stuff, and like you like press on, you go down some more like tunnels and stuff, and some like seem to be like what almost seem to be like little holes in the ground for like it kind of looks like a sleeping area, in the fact that there's like holes in the ground for like people to crawl into, like there's like tattered cloths and stuff there as well. Is there anything else you kind of want to try and look for in these tunnels, or
do I see any books?
you do spot give me a spot hidden roll.
None.
Do you want to push
Okay.
it? Or
No. Because I'm worried what happens if I push and I don't get it. That's the thing.
I would say if you push it, you risk making some noise.
You know what? You know what? Fine. I'm here to find books. I'm going to try and find the books. So we're gonna push it. Oh, it was a 10 until the last second. No. No.
I would say you like head back into like another like some of these like dining rooms, and you're like looking around in the dark. Your like torch is like giving like a little bit of light off, but not enough to like fully illuminate this room. And in doing so, like you kind of like stumble into like an outward shelf that you didn't notice was there, and like you hear like something go whoom 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 as like this jar like topples over and smashes onto the ground underneath you. In doing so, you do hear like a kind of like a scream emanating from one of these tunnels. In doing so, like this scream, it kind of like comes out of like 2, 3, 4 of the holes in the wall. Can I have a sanity check, please?
Oh, I'm so boned. I'm so boned. I'm so boned.
You will lose 4 sanity. As you let out this like scream, you drop the torch, and like you like in a blind panic seem to like kind of trying to scurry back out of where these tunnels are. Can you give me a navigate roll?
It's just all falling apart. It's all falling apart. This is it. This is it, everybody.
You kind of like,
no.
as you're like climbing through like these tunnels, you kind of like you back up on yourself and you go, have I like you kind of come into a similar room where the dining room and all that kind of stuff. You go, have I been here before? And what like am I going in the right direction? Am I like looking where am I kind of thing as you're like looking around? Do you want to either push or what do you want to do?
Do I think anything's chasing me, or do I know at this point?
Give me a listen roll.
I don't have a damn it.
I would say like the scream emanates like through loads of these tunnels. You're able to hear like something moving around down here, but because like loads of these tunnels seem to be like interconnected with each other in different ways, the like actual sounds that are coming through are coming through in like multiple directions. You're unsure if this thing is actually trying to chase you, or if it's now just moving around alert.
Could I try and like tuck myself behind like a rock or something and like hide?
Yeah, give me a stealth roll.
Why?
How many
Can
fails
I
is
push
that?
it?
You can certainly push it if you want.
I am just like, I'm gonna grab a second rock and stack it on top of the first one to try and stealth behind it.
Oh.
No! No! That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row!
I would say as you like stack this second rock on top, it kind of like the sounds kind of like you see like the creature enter the room. It's like claws are like grasping like the tunnel edges as it like comes into the room. As this is happening, like you're trying to hold this second rock up, like you just like lose all the strength in your arms seeing this creature. It bonks you on the head. You can take 2 points of damage, and I would say this rock probably knocks you out.
We love it. We love it. We love it.
Give me a Constitution roll. All right, you managed to wake up a few hours later. Well, you assumed to be a few hours later, and a quick glance in this room. It's quite dark down here, like, but your eyes, because you've been down here for so long, have kind of adjusted to kind of like a low light level version. Like, you can kind of briefly see stuff in the room if you're not maintaining like direct eye contact with it. You spot on one of like these like makeshift dirt chairs a creature just sat there at the table. They appear to have something in their hands, and they are very delicately like every so often turning something on the actual like of the thing in their hands.
Could I attempt communication?
You can do whatever you want. It's your story.
At this point, I'm dazed, confused, injured, and just luck has abandoned me. I want to try and just say hello.
So you say hello in this room, and the creature kind of like pauses mid-turn of, well, you kind of now pick out to be this like book, and like it like briefly looks around. I'm gonna make a spot hidden for them. Oh, they do very well on that.
Of course they would. Of course they would.
It like notices like these two rocks on a human being and goes, "Oh, hello. You're kind aren't normally down here. What are you doing?"
I was looking for books, and now I'm covered in rocks.
Books. I like books. What kind of books do you like?
Normally science books, or books about physics. What books do you like?
I read a lot of books from any kind of genre or literature. I like science books, geography books, books about goats. I had a rather extensive collection before. Do you need help from under the rocks?
Yes, if that would be okay.
The creature like nods and like gets up and kind of like dusts himself off. Puts the book down on the table and like walks over and just like effortlessly just picks up the rocks and puts them to the side. Here, let me help you up. Like he like extends like this rather silky like rubbery smooth arm your way. He's like wearing like a waistcoat and like a half-torn shirt.
I'm gonna just take his arm and have him like help me up.
He like
I'm gonna
gently brings you up.
be like, I'm gonna thank him and just introduce myself and be like, as Bray.
Bray. I like that name. I am Douglas. Well, that was my former name. You kind of, as he says this, you kind of notice the like the rim, like the fin-rimmed glasses, the hair that he has is like kind of like rather in tatters now, but it was thinning and white. You notice like these like tufts starting to like appear out of his like lower jaw, and like his ears are starting to like be a bit more pointy.
So, Douglas.
Yes.
How long have you been down here?
I've been down here about a year now.
Did you wander down here like I did? Or?
No, I came to a decision. I've become friends with people down here, and they offered help with solitude. I decided to take them up on that offer and live a new life. I believe the term is a ghoul, as you say.
And these other ghouls, do they also like books?
No, some like solitude, some like to find new places and explore, and others just like living. Can you give me a sanity roll, by the way?
Sure.
That's a fail. Yeah, you kind of like, as you're like putting these pieces together, like you just let out this big scream, like Douglas. He kind of just like stands there for a few seconds while you kind of like let out this scream. You're gonna take 4 points of sanity.
I'm gonna collect myself and just tell him, apologize for the scream. I'm just a little
It is fine.
disoriented. I've never, being someone of science, it's a little hard to take it all in.
I assume you have your questions, and I'll be more than willing to answer them.
Are you the one who tried to get into the study the other night?
He just briefly, like, shyly nods. Yes, that was me. I apologize if I caused any confusion or scare or,
You put a, well, the why I'm here is Thomas thinks someone's trying to steal all your books.
I see.
So he brought me to figure out why and how to stop someone from taking your books, but I'm starting to think that it's you taking your books.
It is, yes. The other ghouls here have made the decision to move on, meaning they are closing the tunnels here. And with it would be my last attempt at reclaiming what is mine. I never intended to take all the books. books, but I do really enjoy my reading, and I would hate to leave some of it behind.
Are you still able to use a pen and write?
Oh, yes, I typically wrote, not as much anymore. I don't have really any peoples to mail to.
Do you want to write down? I'll hand him like my notebook and my pen. But like, do you want to write down what books you want, and I can try and get them for you?
If memory serves me right, there should be a few books that I liked to read. Like, takes like your, like, he's like got really big hands. Like in this transformation, his fingernails and his hands, arms, lengths, it all seems to be a little bit more elongated in size. And he like takes me like very gingerly, writes down on your notepad and paper and goes like hands over the back over. A few handful of books are there. He like pauses for a second before handing the books, the notepad back over to you and goes, I simply ask that you do not let Thomas know of my existence in this form. I've been watching over him for the last year, and I would hate to let him know of what I am now.
He is worried about you since you disappeared.
I understand, but some things are better left on a cliffhanger rather than stories told. It's been a year now, as you can probably put together, and I believe the idea of my existence living is not too far from being assumed that I am dead.
I don't know if they'd assume you're dead. I think they more assumed you left on an adventure or something.
I don't. It is difficult to put into words of actions, but I insist. I must have my peace. It is the only thing that I really own anymore. If my family knew that I was still alive, they would not stop until they had found me. And in this state, he kind of like points at himself. I can't imagine the things that they would do if they saw me.
But, we could, I kind of point to his shirt. I could bring that back to him and make him think that you just died down here in the tunnels.
He kind of like looks down, hesitates. It is acceptable. I just like starts to unbutton it, takes his waistcoat off, and like hands that over to you. Takes off his shirt, hands that over to you, and expects the waistcoat back, and puts that back on. I would appreciate your cooperation in this.
If you help me get out of here, I will do my best to get you the books, but definitely will let Thomas think that you just passed away exploring down here.
Yes, I know the way back. I will lead you there. In exchange for some books.
I nod my head and kind of agree.
Then let us proceed. This way. Like, kind of like it, like the rooms themselves aren't particularly like tall. You see him having to like kind of like slouch over a little bit to kind of like walk through these halls. What's your character's size? On the main tab, it should say SIZ.
40.
40. You're quite a short person, so you wouldn't have really any sort of issues traveling this area. About 20 minutes later, he kind of leads you back out. It's kind of like, sort of like starting to hit dusk now. The nighttime sky is like kind of starting to become illuminate in the sky. And there are a few lights on in Thomas's house. But the study is dark.
Right. I'm going to kind of make my way to the front door of the house and knock on it.
Like, you kind of hear, like, I'm coming. And then you hear, like, the latch open, and Thomas is like, oh, there you are. I thought I'd lost you.
I thought I lost me too. As I'm gonna, like, show him my, like, I'm assuming, like, the dirt and, like, tell him about how, like, a rock fell on me and I kind of got knocked out for a little bit.
Oh, blood, blimey, are you alright?
I'm a little head spinny, but I didn't find your books, but I did find something else in the tunnels.
Oh, yes, please. What did you find?
I'm gonna pull out Douglas's like shirt and just tell him, be like, I found this in one of the like kind of caves in the tunnels.
May I? He like kind of holds his arms out.
Of course. And I kind of give it to him.
Kind of like holds it very solemnly. Yes, this was my uncle's shirt. It like kind of like hold, like starts to like inspect it properly. Like, it's whatever it is. It's definitely seen something. Well, I guess that that answers the question of his whereabouts. You didn't see his body, or?
I didn't see any body or things like that. Like, there's bones everywhere, but like more than just a human skeleton. Because it looks like people had been like, the cemetery was built on what looks like another older kind of, tunnel system.
Right. I see.
I'm guessing, based on the stuff you said, he liked exploring and traveling. He may have found the tunnels and decided to explore them one day.
Maybe. I think you're right. I don't know what to say. A whole year of searching, and for it to show up like this, it's I can't put the words into my mouth.
I'm sorry for breaking the news to you.
It's fine. I'd appreciate it came out of this investigation and finding it just out of the blue, and Is there anything I can do to pay you back?
I wouldn't say pay me back, but you said the study was kind of like in honor of Douglas, right?
Yes, it was
I
his
was
favorite
thinking
place.
of I was thinking of maybe, with your permission, maybe just taking a few like books and candles and kind of setting up like a little memorial like down by the mausoleum.
Yes, I see what you mean.
We could place it inside to where the elements wouldn't hurt the books or things like that. And
Yes, I think you're right. I think that would be a good shout. Is there any particular books that you know well, a person of science, university, you know? I would assume you'd probably know which books that would be good to put down there.
I have a couple ideas when I was looking through the journal and based off of like his like pointing at like the maps and stuff, like his travels and stuff. I'd probably say s- along the lines of like, maybe a couple of those that look kind of more well worn and weathered, and anything that you wanted to bring down.
Yes, I think you're right. I think that would be a good idea. I mean, it's getting dusk now. We can probably set it up and have it all done before nightfall. Uh, shall we? And
Hmm.
he kind of like ushers towards the study.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow him to the study, and I'm gonna like grab as many of the books that I could remember him writing down.
Yeah, I'd say you have the
Um,
notebook and stuff still, so he
mhm.
would have handed those back, so you would have had like the ones that he had um, written down for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab those, and then maybe a couple other just random ones to make it not look like I'm intentionally like only
Yeah,
picking out certain ones.
I'd say Thomas is there, like grabbing a few himself. He's like found like a bunch of candles as well, um, and like a flint, like a lighter to kind of like light them all. Um, and like you start to make your way down to the study. Not to the study, to the to the. I read study on the map. God damn it. To the cemetery. I say, well, that would be the conclusion. So to wrap this all up, you hosted the little memorial. You and Thomas both said that, stood there, lit the candles, put all the books in a nice little like kind of arrangement. Um, would you have stayed up that night just to make sure all the books were properly handed over?
I would have stayed. Yeah, I would have probably stayed the night. Less so for the books and more so I hadn't slept yet.
Yeah. Um,
Um, and I probably would have went down the next morning just to kind of see if the books was still there and things like that.
yeah, I'd say the next morning you go down, it looks like the mausoleum itself has been closed. Um, would you kind of assume that the books have probably been taken as they've sealed off the entrance? Um, Thomas pays you $10 for help in solving the murder and for um, letting you know about the books. And that is the end of Paper Chase. Your first time, you
I
survived.
I survived. I didn't think I was. Oh, things are going so bad for so long. It's
uh,
like so many fails.
but we'll do this. Where can people find you if they were to look you up on the internets?
You can find me on twitch.tv, Frosty Foxy. You can also find me at Blue Sky, which is the same thing, Frosty Foxy. Or
Yeah.
if you don't like either one of those, you can find me at my website at frostyfoxy.com.
frostyfoxy.com. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I have been your keeper of arcane lore, Jafawi, here to tell you another story. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and don't look into the tree lines when you're going to look at creepy people walking down the hill. Yeah. All right, bye-bye.
Boy.